Welcome back to Coin Lady channel, where you can always find the most interesting and up-to-date information about XRP. Things are about to spiral wildly out of control, so brace yourself. If you felt like the cryptocurrency market had gotten stale in the past few weeks, you're in luck. The SEC is gearing up to take the initiative and crack down on as many Bitcoin businesses as possible. In this video, we'll talk about a case they just settled with Kraken, the implications of that settlement for the cryptocurrency industry as a whole, and some cases that are about to be dismissed. In addition, we will review a statement from Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse that addresses the current state of affairs in the United States and the reasons why a settlement in the DEC action against Ripple may be more possible than ever. As I alluded to in the introduction, the cryptocurrency industry is about to spiral out of control, and the SEC is gearing up to take the offensive in an effort to shut down as many crypto products as possible. Something fascinating happened, and technology struck with surprising force. I'd like to discuss the latest developments with them and who they plan to target next. But I also want to talk about the idea that maybe it isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. But before we wrap up, I'd like to make a transition and share why I think this could be good for Ripple and the SEC when it comes to reaching a settlement. Let's talk about why it's crucial that the SEC and Ripple come to an agreement, and what might happen if they don't. If you want to see that, you'll need to stick around until the very end. But first, let's take a look at a tweet from Melina Durack, who has been almost always published a scoop or a forecast about what the SEC will do next, and who has been remarkably accurate in predicting every SEC move. Apparently, she does have a contact within the SEC. The accuracy has been outstanding. Because of this, she broke the news earlier today. In an effort to classify the vast majority of tokens as securities, the SEC and other organizations will initiate a wide range of enforcement proceedings against cryptocurrency exchanges, banks, and corporations that mint tokens in the coming weeks. Gary Gensler is starting this night massacre. I've been told that Gary Gensler intends to launch as many enforcement actions as possible. At the same time that the 118th Congress is still getting its bearings. Gary Gensler is actively working to impede him and seize control of the Bitcoin business on behalf of the incoming Congress, from which he expects to receive little to no help. This is why Gary Gensler and a few other groups are gearing up to file as many lawsuits as they can to bring the Bitcoin industry under the SEC's purview. Today we saw the beginning of this campaign against cryptocurrencies when the SEC filed suit against Kraken. By this point, the SEC had only begun to focus on Kraken staking. Kraken is effectively saying that they will no longer tolerate any stakes in the US. I enjoyed the exchanges that allowed for staking very much. In sum, this is a devastating loss. It's easy and relaxing to do. Money needs not be moved to any third-party wallets. As long as you don't keep too much money there, it's great to have a little bit of flexibility in where you store your cryptocurrency, and there are no smart contracts that you need to tinker with. But it seems the SEC is trying to classify any staking on these exchanges as a security, so they are taking action against it. While I agree that this is a terrible predicament, I don't think it's as bad as many people are going to make it out to be for two reasons. The SEC doesn't seem to have much sway, for one thing, to stop us from making our own bets. The SEC can only prevent exchanges from staking, which is annoying because it removes some of the convenience of having these exchanges. Risk your digital currency. Obviously, this is not the end of staking or anything related to it. It was also pointed out by Jake Stravinsky, who is obviously onto something, that there is another important consideration to keep in mind. Agreements between parties do not have the same legal force as statutes. They've calculated that making peace is financially preferable to continuing to fight. If the SEC considers staking as a service to be a security hold, it has not come out and said so. The SEC has not yet provided a response to what appears to be a challenging question. As it turns out, Jake is making a rather salient point. To be honest, Kraken never admitted that its staking product was a security. They only said they would leave. They didn't admit to anything at all. They didn't dispute any of the evidence. They just gave us the news that they're going to start paying us for staking. Consequently, the SEC cannot use this as proof that Kraken admitted staking as security. Instead, we didn't make this decision in June. Therefore, all other Bitcoin exchanges in the US are obligated to remain silent. Some of them might go silent now for fear of what might happen to them if they speak up. However, the distinction must be emphasized here. Noting that he describes staking as a service is crucial. It appears that the SEC is currently only going after the exchanges that are holding your tokens for you. If you stake your own tokens, they will leave you alone. The Swedish krona, SEC has been losing ground in the cryptocurrency market, so it's important to note any gains they've made here before they evaporate. This seems to be spot on. They couldn't figure out what the Kraken was saying. Kraken recently informed them that they would no longer steal and would recognize staking as security. Kraken is the only one affected here. Users at large will feel the effects, but the cryptocurrency itself will likely suffer little. Now Elena Terra has posted information regarding a new case the SEC may soon bring against Paxos. As a direct assault on a stablecoin, this is actually quite intriguing. In addition, I've heard that the SEC is considering legal action against the Circle. In light of this, it would appear that the SEC is currently making an effort to exert its dominance over stablecoins. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, you'll see that the SEC is attempting to include cryptocurrency tokens themselves in its jurisdiction with the XRP case. They are also making an effort to monopolize the trading market. Kraken and Coinbase are two examples of this. It's clear that the SEC is also interested in stablecoins at the moment. To add to what Elena Terrell has already said, the United States will sue as many cryptocurrency companies as possible in an effort to bring the entire industry under U.S. jurisdiction. Even though the current situation in the United States stinks, foreign countries are providing us with the transparency we need to run our businesses, as Brad Garlinghouse, who actually got in to respond, put it. In his opinion, countries like Dubai, Australia, the United Kingdom, South Korea, and Brazil are all providing guidelines to help Bitcoin businesses stay on the right side of the law. Cryptocurrency businesses seek regulation, not loopholes that would allow them to avoid complying with the law. At some point, the United States will have to compromise on this issue, or else it will hurt innovation. If they keep suing every company that tries to form in the US, the system will break down. The SEC has taken a firm stance, is enforcing regulations, and will take action against these methods. On the other hand, they will eventually be told to stop when they reach a certain point. Brad Garlinghouse claims that the United States will fall so far behind that it will be forced to capitulate. Consequently, while it is disheartening to see the SEC increase its enforcement activities, at least other countries are making strides forward. To wrap up this video, the United States will soon have to do the same. I'd like to talk about how Ripple stands to gain from the many impending enforcement actions taken against cryptocurrency organizations around the world. Before I go into detail about the settlement, I just want to say that this development makes an SEC appeal of the Ripple SEC case less likely in my opinion. In light of this, it seems likely that the SEC will concede defeat in the Ripple case and move on to other cryptocurrency issues. They aren't going to care about Ripple anymore because there are so many other cases where we can assert jurisdiction over cryptocurrencies. If they were, it would be a smart move in preparation for the coming conflict with Ripple. However, they appear to be significantly more motivated to select the low-hanging fruit, which, in the end, is good news in my book. Also, I'd like to elaborate on why I think it improves the chances of reaching a settlement. After the likelihood of a settlement has been established, the benefits to all parties involved will be discussed. And Bill the lawyer has just today explained this. Since the SEC is scrambling for wins to show other American regulators that cryptocurrency is under their purview, I think this increases the likelihood of a settlement. Regarding XRP's standing, despite the fact that the terms of the agreement permit XRP to be handled as a commodity and Ripple to create a market for it, Bill claimed the SEC benefited greatly from their partnership with Ripple. Even if the SEC maintains that none of the XRP sold by Ripple constitutes a security, Bill still thinks there's a chance the two parties can come to an amicable settlement. He reasoned that the lawsuit would be appropriate if the result was a hefty fine. To round out the top three, the Hinman emails were not made public. The second decision was a non-adverse fair notice ruling. The lack of a decision on the Blue Sky investment contract issue was the fifth and arguably most important. The defendants in SEC v. U.S. were seen presenting their case again this week. Why? What if Waves end up winning this argument? Bill, Ripple's attorney, claims that the company used Blue Sky laws in court as a defense, which I won't be able to dispute in this video. It's complicated, but basically, if the SEC loses this action against Ripple, it'll be a disaster for the SEC's hopes of dominating the cryptocurrency industry. It seems that my lawyer and I agree that the SEC would be much better off just admitting that XRP is not a security, Ripple, and that you are the only one who benefits from this based on this one instance, which is not going well for them. But we're not stopping there, we're going to keep going after the rest of the Bitcoin market. Who knows what the SEC will do right now, given that we settled with you. The SEC has repeatedly demonstrated its irrationality and the ability to defy expectations with its decisions. My guess is that the SEC will negotiate a peace treaty. We'll have to wait and see. Who can say? The Ripple SEC case should be settled regardless of whether or not they do. As of late February or early March, it's likely that the end is in sight. So before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to quickly mention something. For a while the Sunshine meetings didn't seem to get anywhere, and we heard nothing at all about them. However, as Elena tweeted, the SEC is about to launch a midnight massacre on all Bitcoin companies over the next few months. In my opinion, we need to keep a close eye on them. In any case, let's keep our focus on each of these for the time being. As we wait to see what else the SEC has in store, we can only hope that this is the beginning of the end for the Ripple lawsuit. In any case, I greatly value your presence here today. This update should have been entertaining, at least. Please show your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. It means a great deal to me right now. See you later, bye.